Hello everyone. If you've tried integrating Singular into an Expo React Native app, you've probably realized that there isn't a complete up-to-date guide that actually gets you from zero to a working implementation. The official documentation, the link in the description below, says you should be familiar with customizing native code because the SDK requires native modules as shown here. The good news is, if you're using Expo, you do not have to write any native code yourself. But if you're using a bare React Native project, that's true. But if you're using Expo with config plugins and development builds, Expo handles that native configuration for you. So don't let that warning actually discourage you. In this video, I will show you the exact setup I used to get Singular working, as shown on screen, from project setup to configuration to rebuilding the app, initializing the SDK, and finally logging real events successfully. Let's plug it in. The first thing you have to do is create your Expo app using the command shown on screen. After installing your Expo app, the next thing you have to do is install Singular React Native SDK into your project. When you install Singular React Native app into your project, you install Expo Tracking Transparency. Now, Expo Tracking Transparency is required due to Apple's App Tracking Transparency privacy policy. This package is used to prompt users or allow for app tracking on iOS. It is important to note that this is specific for iOS devices. It lets your app ask the user whether they will allow tracking across other companies' apps and websites via the prompt. Now, once this is installed and configured properly, on initial load of your app, this is the prompt that a user will see, and this is the prompt that you will see when you install Expo Tracking Transparency and initialize it correctly and run your app for the first time. This is the prompt that Expo Apps Tracking Transparency will prompt the user to allow for. Again, this is case specific for iOS devices. Moving on. After installing both packages, you'll come to your app.json and input just the way I've done it in under your plugins array. Once that is done, the first thing you'll be doing is create a folder. I'll just rename this and call it services. In this folder, you'll create another folder called Singular. And this is just the way I'll do it. Now, inside the Singular folder, you'll create a file called singularInit.ts. Now, our copy paste code. Now, the code for this, the repository link will be in the description below. So just copy paste this and follow along. Now, the Singular init, this is native Singular from the Singular SDK. Now you import the native emitter, the native event emitter. Now, the native event emitter is the bridge between your app and the SDK. The native event emitter listens to your app and sends data to the SDK and sends data from the SDK to the app, vice versa. It's basically communicates between your app and the SDK. It's basic. Now, if you have created a Singular account, come to your onboarding guide. It's just a simple onboarding setup. The first thing, you will be asked some questions. You answer the questions. You add an app. Now, when you're adding an app, I've added an app here already, but just to demo it, you add your app's name. You specify the platform, if it is Android or iOS, as the case may be. If it is Android, if your app is live on the Play Store, you will use the Play Store link. But if your app is not live on Play Store yet, you will use your bundle ID. This is where many devs make a mistake, because the bundle ID can only be generated when you have built your app. That's when you get this field here in your app.json. The bundle ID is the package name as shown here. So this is what you are going to copy and paste here as your bundle ID if your app is not on Play Store or App Store yet. When you do that, you save your app and you proceed. Coming back to onboarding guide, you come to integrate your Singular SDK. You show keys, you copy your keys and take it to your singularInit file and paste it here. The API key and the secret. Moving on, you have different functions here to enable for event sending to the Singular dashboard. When this is done, now let me just impute my API keys, then we'll jump back into the video in a minute. Yes. All right. Once that is done, the next thing you'll be doing is you'll come in your app folder, in your root layout, where you have your route defined. The first thing you do is you'll just import this. The link to the GitHub repository will be in the description below. So you copy paste this. Init Singular from the Singular, the path. Import tracking transparency from Expo tracking transparency and use effect. Now, after that, you'll copy this. I'm just going to copy and paste. After that, you'll paste this here inside your root layout. So your use effect, this is where you are asking Apple, this is where you're utilizing tracking transparency to enable for the prompt. So once this is done, I've logged it here in the console where you should see the status of the ATT. So if I open my console here, you are going to see that ATT status is granted. So I have allowed for Apple's tracking transparency, so that has been granted. So this will work on iOS. As you can see, Singular has been already initialized. This is because I tested before recording this video. So Singular has been initialized already. Everything is working and properly working. So moving on, after doing this, everywhere that you want to log events to the dashboard, everywhere you want to log events to the dashboard, this is where you are going to put it. Anywhere you want to send events, anywhere you want to log events, whether user have purchased, whether user have bought, something, whether user have added to cart, the first user transaction, any event you want to track, wherever you want to put it, you will take these codes and place them there, just the way I've done it. Now, on my sign up file, I want to get events for user sign up. So in the sign up, I'll import this set singular user ID and track singular events with args. You can track singular events without args, or you can track singular events with args. So you copy this, and in the success block, I'll paste this. Set singular ID and track singular events with args. Sign up completed. Now the arguments are this. You can add more details about the event, and when you log the events, you'll see those events. Now, this is my sign up. I also want to track my login. Now for the login, I'll copy and paste this accordingly. I'll paste this, track singular event with args. In my success block also, I'll paste this here, just the way I've done it. Now, also in my transfer file, where I'll be transferring money from one person to another person, I'll import this, track singular event with args, and in the success block, I'll paste this. Now with this, if your app isn't already running, you should start your app allow the prompt, and you should see events like this being triggered. So I'm going to come to my app now and try to create an account on Block Finance app. Now I click on sign up. Remember, I've put events for where I want them to be triggered. And if I come here to test your integration, I'll come here to the testing console. Now, you can also add your devices. Now, this is where devs also make a mistake. When you're trying to add an event, when you're trying to add a device, you choose your platform, Android, your device type, device ID type. Now, this is where many devs also make a mistake. This is why you don't get events logged in your dashboard. Now, on your app, on the Singular app, many devs will choose your device ID here, this one, or on iOS, they'll pick this device ID, but that is wrong. What you choose is the Google advertising ID, this one, or your identifier for advertisers for iOS, which is this one. Do not use the device ID for Android and do not use the device ID for iOS. What you use is the first one, whether it is GAID or the IDFA for Android and iOS, as the case may be. So to your testing console, you choose your GAID, or on iOS, you use your IDFA basic. Once you do that, you enter your device, you choose your ID device type, you enter the device ID, then you enter your device name. Now I have done that, so I won't do it again the second time. Now, these are events I've sent before, but we are looking for recent events. So I'm going to let this be, come back to creating an account and create an account on Plug Finance and call it plugged.dev. That's my name. Your email address, pluggeddev@yopmail.com. Now I'll create an account. You should see an event here. Once the creating of account is successful, an event should be triggered here. Okay. There's an error somewhere. It cannot tap into this. I'll just comment that out and try creating an account again. Okay, account with this email already exists. So I'm going to use plugged.dev at and create an account. Good. Verification code is successful. Now this is just a dummy app. It's just a simulation of a real fintech app. Now look at this now. It says singular event has been tracked. Sign up completed. Now this is the sign up completed here, and the argument shows me the method, which is the email I have used. Now do not send sensitive information of users to Singular. It is important to note that. If I go to Singular dashboard, you can see here that my event has been logged successfully and finally. Now, event data, it shows me the arguments that I sent with the app. You can see that it's working. Now, I'll click on verify OTP. Verify OTP runs. Now I'll log in with that, my email address, pluggeddev, remove 1D, pluggeddev@yopmail.com, and password. Login. Now, this is the app. It's just a basic fintech app. Again, it is a demo app solely for the purpose of the video tutorials on this YouTube channel. Now, let me just send some money to this app so that I can make a transfer. Now, if I refresh my balance, I should see the amount of money I have deposited. Now, if I click on add funds, yeah, I can add funds here, but that's not the sole purpose of this video. You can see here that login, login tracked successfully. Now, if I click on transfer, I want to transfer some money to another person. Again, this is just a demo app. This does not send any money to anybody. It's just demo. I'll click on I want to send money to Tony Stark. Tony Stark at yopmail.com. I want to send $500,000. Send Iron Man suits. I click on send money. Transfer successful. You can see here again, singular event tracked, money sent, and the argument has been sent with that event. Transactions here, and I can see more transactions here. And also, if I come to the singular dashboard, you can see sign up completed, look at the time, login completed with the args, and money sent with the args. This is the argument that I sent with this event. So this is how to send events to Singular via Expo without writing any native code at all. Now, you can also go ahead by configuring events, by adding custom events. But on a live app, once you trigger events, they will automatically be added here after you set up the SDK. But if you want to go ahead to add custom events, you can go ahead to add custom events to Singular. And that is it. Your Expo app has now successfully been integrated with Singular and you're ready to start tracking real events. If this video saved you the hours I spent figuring it out, consider subscribing to plugged.dev. On this channel, I focus on SDKs, APIs, and production setups that documentation often leave out. In the next video, we are stepping away from the code and answering the bigger question. What exactly is Singular? How does mobile attribution work? What are IDFA and GAID? What is SKAdNetwork? And why do all this matter when you are building mobile apps? Until next time, stay plugged in. Cheers.